Stream holds up. Stream 1 going, stream 2 going. All right. So they're up. I got to fix. I got to get my. Is this week 12 or week 13?
Hell, I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I think it's week 13. I think my schedule's on here wrong, so that's okay. And then Facebook, find post, week 12, but it's really week 13, I think. Is the first comment going to come from YouTube or Facebook?
Facebook.
We're going to go with Facebook. All right. I think I got them on there right. Let's see, week 10. This would be 11, 12. Oh, wait, this is week 12, right?
Dude, I don't remember how old I am some
week
days.
11,
So.
week 12. Oh, no, it's week 13. I'll fix it later. All right, so I see one comment. Do I have YouTube on? Oh, I see Rod. So I need to turn this on. Nope, I need to turn it. So it needs to stay off. Okay, so I need to turn that off. Okay, so here, okay. I got the comments ready to go. So this would be in order. I click this.
So you want me to track Facebook?
Oh, I can watch.
You want me to track?
The cool thing about my program is I can see all of them in one spot. Now it's different. So like Facebook, Rod says hi. Then Cody on YouTube. Cody is here. Thank you, Cody. Braden Russell is with us. It's hot in my ear. Braden says hello. So, all right. Well, we got, as we get more people coming in, a little bit different tonight. We are in our corners, and we actually will not be on 93.7. Made a quick decision earlier in this week and probably should have kept it on 93.7, but that's okay. But the show will still continue at 6 o'clock, and we'll be running as normal. So good to see my sister. Oh, go back to the comments. Hey, Jen. And Taylor, good to see Taylor. So we go into YouTube. Yeah, we are on both right now on Facebook and YouTube. Let me pull up.
Mama's in charge.
Save the guns.
Keep the guns.
Keep the guns.
Mama's in charge.
Yes, keep the guns.
Mama's in charge.
Let's see here.
So I feel like I can't. So I don't need to be worrying about looking at Facebook or anything right now, huh?
No, you can look at Facebook. Have you already shared it?
Of course.
All right. So when I play this YouTube video clip, you can't hear it. All right. Copy the YouTube feed. I'm going to go to Guthrie News page. See, unfortunately, we can't see, like, let's see here, picture.
Ryan Cotting finally got it right. Said the Phil and Chris show.
Yeah, you got quite the following right now, Phil.
Well, people are starting to figure out who really carries the freaking hay around this place.
All right, so okay, so let's go back to my comment section, which is way over here. And there's proof, Ryan Cutting, the Phil and Chris show, transparent, showing all the negative comments as well as the positive comments.
Where's the negative comments?
Well, no, right there, the Phil and Chris show.
That's not a negative comment.
Well, I mean, if you read left to right, it's Chris and Phil on your screen. But, and see, I just push one, look, Phil, I just push one button, comments goes off, feed comes on. Ain't that awesome?
Well, I mean, it took me about 3 hours to build that function.
Speaking of which, let me hit this button. That'll go off. This will come on. Ryan Cotting on Facebook says, use some of Phil's graphics.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
Oh, I need to turn this. I need to go back to this one here. See, at my home. Oh boy, now I got comments need to go off. There we go. I'm in my home office, and so I got the bigger computer, and so we're able to do a whole lot more features. And this is kind of like a home game. When we broadcast Guthrie football games, we get to use all the equipment, all the fun stuff. When we're on the road, we have to use a laptop, and the graphics and all that stuff are limited. So,
why are we doing it from our home offices tonight, Chris?
Taylor says, "Happy Thanksgiving." Comments on.
Taylor says.
There you go, Taylor. Taylor on Facebook. Taylor on Facebook says, "Happy Thanksgiving, fellas." Thank you, Taylor. Appreciate that. So far the Facebook comments are winning it right now. We have 3 YouTube comments and 2, 4, 5, 7.
Because Facebook's more popular with our demographic, Chris.
Yeah, it's easier.
When did Facebook ever put you in jail? That's what I want to know.
I've never been in jail. And when I look at my screen, let me show you what my screen looks like. Because I'm always looking over here. I'm looking at Phil, but I need to look this way. Let me put Phil right there, so I can talk to Phil while it looks like I'm looking at the camera, but I'm really looking at Phil. Let me show you what you want to see what my desktop looks like, Phil?
Yeah.
Display 1 and cut. This, let me get the comment off of there. And then the third, let me get that off of there. So this is what I look at. So down here on the red, I'm recording here. This is my stream button. The window on the left that I'm looking at, this is my preview window. So this is what I get ready to go. And then over here on the right, that's what's actually going on the air. So obviously I'm showing my screen. So there's the screen there. But this is me, my main shot, Phil's main shot. Oh, his audio turned off. There you go. Phil's main shot. And then generation, I'm not even get the comments yet. And here's my desktop there. All right.
Hey, Chris, literally everybody's over this.
Oh.
Okay. Brother Ronnie says I look like a pilot because of my headset. Look like a pilot.
Oh, yeah, that's yeah, man. It's not what you wear on Friday night for football games, but
Well, it's similar.
See, Cody Knox, he gets it. Good old V Mix, he gets it. Phil looks like a pilot. Trouble on Facebook.
Chubbo, I was looking forward to see you. I don't know why you had to turn around.
Here we go.
We'll talk about that at some point.
That didn't take long.
My life's been negatively impacted.
Cut. Oops, no, cut this way. Luke, thanks for keeping us up to date on GH Sports. Happy Thanksgiving. Same thing to you, Luke. Hopefully it's a quiet holiday for you. Cody,
Luke's.
Oops, lower third off. Phil, Cody, let you know that that's very loud.
What's very loud?
When you move your headsets up and down. And on cue, you asked for it. There it is. I mean, you just telling me that it's going to guarantee to happen. Jeff Taylor, good evening. Show does begin at 6 o'clock. We're going to talk the High School Huddle, of course, from 6 to 7, presented by our title sponsor, Generations Church. And then we might just, once we roll the final credits, I think we might come back on here and go a little bit longer if people stay around and all that good stuff. Also, well, we'll get into it in the show. So there's a lot of things, so we can always ask questions and we can display the questions and all that good stuff as well. So that's the cool thing about having all the cool stuff here.
Do have a lot of cool stuff here.
Yeah,
I got a lot working from home this week since Monday at approximately 10 a.m. Has been very fruitful for Phil. I've gotten a lot accomplished this week.
Well, you still got next week.
Oh boy.
I know. I'm gonna let Cody. This is for Cody Knox. No one cares, but Cody. here's my Stream Deck, Cody. So when I use all these buttons, this is my shortcut. So I can put my just push that, lower third comes on, punch that, and goes off. So let's say it's on during the show and Ryan Cotting makes a rare, great comment. I'll hit comments, and just by pushing this button, it will take that graphic off and add the new graphic. Boom. And I push it back and it goes right there. Same thing here. I can push the video button, which goes to Phil and I. And then let me get something here on the desktop, which is Generations Church. So if I click the PIP, picture in picture, click that, boom, we got our desktop. Pretty cool. And then also, bear with me. I always want to show Cody this because he likes all this cool stuff. Also, I have an opening button. So when I'll just push this and our opening, all things will go off the screen, our opening. I got a closing button for the end of the show. Commercial 1, break 2, break 3. A lower third button. I already showed you that. Comments, and then the audio. I can mute and then click the audio again. And it comes on. So that's all through the streaming software. And so, as Phil knows,
you and Cody might need to get a room. Goodness.
Well,
gracious.
no, I'm just showing you. And he'll appreciate that. But this is some of the gadgets that we had that we go on the road with all the time. And Phil got to see it for the first time. People at Jones and that was our little bitty setup. It wasn't our big setup. And so the people at Jones, 85 question Phil. And so it's
little setup I refer to as 500-pound day. Full regular setup, I call it the ton day.
Well, that's why setup day for the big broadcasts are usually on Wednesdays and Thursdays, so we can be ready to go by Friday.
No, we got to drag all that stuff up. Those stairs at Jones were steep, too.
Which one? The one to get to the press box or the one to get up on top of the press box?
Well, the one to get to the press box was steep. The one to get up on the press box was stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, you said the Q word.
Yeah, I did. That's a bad mistake. Phil, Rodney on Facebook says Phil missed you last night.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a meeting. We were supposed to have a meeting together last night.
Ooh.
Somebody wasn't able to attend for reasons I'm sure we'll discuss later in the show.
Cody says, I want one of those, laugh out loud, so when I'm getting the payroll. Oh, when he getting on the payroll. Gotcha. Ronnie Poppin.
He's hiring you?
Oh, Phil, you made a comment?
Well, yeah.
Well, I don't. Taylor on Facebook, gotta love the technology. Yeah, I've really come
It's censored now. That's great.
5 minutes till showtime.
Jeez. Is the Tiger King going to get pardoned?
Well, Michael Flynn got pardoned today.
Well deserved.
Well, he lied to the FBI, Phil.
No, he didn't. I don't believe any of that crap.
They just send people to prison?
Well, yeah, have you been watching the last 2 years? There went the transparency. That's right, Ryan. That's right.
You're just gonna put there are HIPAA rules out there, Phil.
I can talk about my own health. I can talk about my own health conditions.
I'm looking at this comment, which I'm sure is just sticking out on Facebook. You.
I didn't say anything about anything.
We can
keep talking. You're gonna.
No. We can talk about us.
Talking.
We can talk about us.
Well, that's what I was doing.
Oh, kinda.
Well,
Taylor's one of you. He agrees with you.
There was just wasn't quite enough of us.
Man, I got to tell you, coming up, the show starts here in 4 minutes. I got to tell you, the first few moments of the show is not going to be really all that great of news. I mean, we got news out of El Reno.
No, it is.
Got news out of Woodward. Got news for the radio crew.
Very sad.
Yeah. So, we're going
the radio, the stuff we're talking about, the radio crews, is obviously nothing compared to the horrible news that came out of Woodward and El Reno this week. Absolutely tragic.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in just a little bit.
We can start the show. Tina's here now.
Oh, good.
Medley. Hey, Chris.
Yes.
I got that fancy microphone you told me to buy like a year ago that I've never figured out how to assemble. What's this do? This goes to it.
Yeah, that's your filter.
Yeah.
Your spit filter.
Okay. Whoa. I need one of those. I've been cleaning the office. I've located a lot of stuff I thought was lost forever.
I'm trying to find. Let me just pull this up here real quick. Well, we got 2 minutes till showtime. There we go. All right, I can turn this off. Phil's quitting. Streaming archives. See what this looks like. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Move my comments over here. Oops. Boy, I'm missing a lot of comments. I apologize.
Well, why is that?
Getting ready to start up here in just a second. Comments. There we go. T. Fred is in the house.
T. Fred.
I should read these comments before I publish them. Phil and Chris show the beef ribs he smoked. They look big time. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know,
It's all about Chris.
My neighbor gets to have all the stuff that I get to share. Ribs. My neighbor's gotten beef jerky. Phil, we got about a minute left, but beef jerky? I don't know. Okay. I don't know what.
No, I'm going to give an honest assessment of the beef jerky. The first batch had the stuff that looked like it was like bright red, which it was not.
Right. My very first batch ever.
Yeah. The flavor in that though was really good.
It was a basic recipe.
The other stuff was good. I like hot stuff, so you kicked it up a notch with your second batch.
Just a little bit. See, I'm the opposite. I don't like anything hot.
Yeah, but it was really good. I mean, it was really, really good. So
yeah,
Chris can make some jerky.
Yeah, that's something I like to get good at, because I was thinking that's a pretty cool like Christmas present. Father's Day type deal, birthday type deal. It's kind of a cool deal. So and for the most part, it's pretty easy to do. Jordan Leach is calling me.
Did she not get the message?
Might not have. Hello. Yeah, we scored. We scared Jordan. Sorry, Jordan.
Oh, she panicked.
Yeah,
she panicked.
We had canceled the show on Monday, and then we were able to put some stuff together and were able to pull it off. So it's
been a busy.
Yeah, and I probably should have called Jordan. My bad, Jordan. I apologize.
Jordan, I told him to call you.
Of course you did.
Well, I did.
Okay, Phil. When you're situated, we can begin to go.
I'm waiting on you. You're having private conversations, and
all right, you ready?
I'm ready.
In 3.
Oklahoma, huddle up. It's time to go inside the High School Huddle on Hot 93.7 FM and streaming worldwide on GuthrieSportsPage.com. The High School Huddle will take you where you want to go with coaches, players, your phone calls, texts, and tweets. Join the huddle and let's talk high school sports.
It is the High School Huddle as we get set for quarterfinal action for a lot of the schools and also some semifinal action in Class 6A football. Alongside Phil Nichols, I'm Chris Evans, and welcome to the High School Huddle. Our partner, Jordan Leach, with the night off, but of course, tune in. As always, we appreciate her. Phil, how are you today?
Pretty good.
Boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, we got to address that, don't we? It's been a weird week it's not even been a week yet for the Guthrie radio crew. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But of course, our show each and every week is brought to you by our good friends at Generations Church, and you can find them online at generationsguthrie.com. Love God, love people, serve both well, and you can check them out on Facebook as well as their website right here. And Generations Church, title sponsor of the High School Huddle. And, boy, so much to get into, Phil. We'll talk about our situation, which is very minute compared to some of the stories that we have to get to here to begin the show. And just tragic news out of El Reno. We got word of it yesterday. It happened Monday night, but a young coach, 24 years old, was set to turn 25 tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day, died in a two-vehicle accident. The full story now is on the El Reno Tribune, as you can see on your screen there. But a two-vehicle accident. He was driving a 2017 Chevrolet Silverado, and the other vehicle involved was a 2016 Kenworth semi-tractor pulling a sand trailer. The details, the investigation is still going on. But unfortunately, he died at the scene. It was his first year at El Reno. He was a football coach, also was set to be a middle school baseball coach as well. And, the head coach for El Reno is Chuck Atchison, who was the offensive coordinator for Guthrie in 2002 when the Jays won their first ever state championship. Well, Coach Atchison actually coached this victim, Mr. Briggs, at Prague High School for a couple of years, and also not only did he coach him at Prague, but his the victim's dad was a coach on the Prague staff as well. Briggs went on to college, and then it was in his first year at El Reno. So tragic. It's anytime these events happen, Phil, and unfortunately we've had to go through a lot of those in Guthrie. They're never easy, and it just makes it more difficult around the holiday season.
Yeah, I mean what can you say? A young man, and his family will forever be changed, and the kids over at El Reno, I guarantee, are struggling right now, and puts in perspective everything. It's unfortunate. Of course, we knew Coach Cochran over at Cashin had the horrible experience this summer, losing his wife during delivering their beautiful baby, and then you hear this story, and it's just sad, all the way around, and just need to pray for everybody involved. It's just one of those things that there's no answer for.
Yeah, Superintendent McVeigh, who's also on the OSSA board of directors, said that they're working with the family what to do with the memorial and the funeral service and all that good stuff. El Reno, who played Piedmont last week and won that game. So they're getting ready for a football game on Friday night, and they've already got a decal on the football helmet to be displayed for the Friday night game, which we'll talk about here in a segment or two. But yeah, just boy, and it's just it's never a good time. And we talk about the holiday, but and then you start, then we start peeling around with sports, and these kids got to take the news. It happened on Monday night. He left practice, and that's when the accident happened. And so now you get together as a team again on yesterday for the first time, and then you go through it again today, and it's going to be heavy with them, not only this week, but weeks to come, months to come, years to come. And then you got to get ready for a football game on Friday night. So there's a lot of emotions going through, and Coach Atchison and the athletic director, Rodney Hayden, and Superintendent McVeigh, and all the staff, all those have got to deal with not only this, but also try to piece it all together and go out on Friday night and kind of forget about it for a few minutes, and then try to win a football game.
Yeah, and again, kids are resilient. We've seen that locally in Guthrie over the years. Kids are resilient. This will go one of two ways as it pertains to the game, and let's be honest, the game doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, it does, but it doesn't at a time like this. But the kids will either come out and play with a lot of emotion, and it'll be a positive thing, or the kids will come out and play with a lot of emotion, and it'll be a train wreck. There's usually not any in between on those kind of things, but again, I think the main thing we all need to do is just pray for the staff and for his family and all of his friends, his students, his student athletes, and just everybody in the El Reno community. I mean, it's hard. And obviously the Prague community is hurting right now too. I mean, so there's just a lot of variables there that a lot of people affected. When somebody dies young, it cuts a different way, just does. So it's tough time for everybody.
Yeah, Jacob Briggs, dead at the age of 24. I have a pretty good relationship with former head basketball coach Rodney Hayden over at El Reno, who's now the athletic director, and just sent condolences over there, and it's going to be a tough time. And also, you got to remember when students, I don't know if El Reno is in school instruction or what, or regardless what it is, there's students of his, not only just the athletes, but the students who got to deal with that when return as well.
Right.
Other news, Phil, in Woodward, a beloved coach, Ron Payne, he was 57. He was an 8th grade math teacher and coached many sports over at Woodward. And he died Sunday after being placed on a ventilator, developed pneumonia and flu during his COVID-19 battle. So a real popular guy in Woodward area. So it's just a tough overall thing, what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I think there's a picture of a gentleman from Woodward, and I saw an interview this morning on the news. I believe it was his wife and maybe his 2 daughters were being interviewed on the news regarding the story. And obviously he touched a lot of people's lives, and same thing, you just got to pray for the family, pray for everybody affected by it, and just hope that they can get to a place eventually where they can move forward and remember him in a fond way. But there's nothing you can really say about that. It's just a tough deal.
Yep, not the way we wanted to begin the high school huddle here this week, but we feel like we definitely had to address that, and just prayers for our friends over in El Reno and our friends over in Woodward. Guthrie programs play them all the time. We go to their facilities all the time. They come here a lot of times. So, just a tough deal. Well, moving on, Phil, deal. And we'll move on to the COVID section. COVID is usually our first segment, and we'll talk about it here in a little bit. Today, Oklahoma football had to postpone their game with West Virginia, or maybe it's the other way around. I'm not for sure which way it is, so I should say it. But the OU West Virginia game postponed until December, and then the OU men's basketball was set for their first game. OU women's was supposed to play. Those were postponed due to COVID, and so now we're starting to see this, and it's been with us all season long, but it hit the Guthrie radio crew this time. Phil's in his office, I'm in my office, and we are in protocol. Is that what they call that? COVID protocol? Is that the if Sam Presti was calling it, it would be the COVID protocol.
I got a different word for it, but but we can't say that on the air. But no, it officially became a real pandemic Monday morning about 10 o'clock. But we got notified and had to go up and go through the deal and went and got the test. And man, we both thought it was going to be the easy test. When we showed up. It was the old school. Whew.
Did you put your head against the wall? I got the advice to put the head against the wall.
Well, yeah, he said, put the head against the wall, and I pulled my mask down. He goes, can you please put your hands down in your lap? And I realized, wait a second, he's afraid when he sticks that thing in, I'm going to punch him. Just reflex, but right. It felt like it went about 8.5 feet in the back of my head. It wasn't quite that long, but it felt that way. But anyway, so we are doing everything remote now, and officially are in protocol for a fair bit of time.
Yeah, we had been exposed last week, and so Phil and I were set to do the state semifinal games in Owasso. We were going to produce and broadcast Stillwater versus Choctaw, and we were also going to do Edmond Santa Fe versus Union on Saturday night, and we obviously cannot do those football games. And also Guthrie with their victory over Lawton MacArthur. We'll get to that here in our next segment here in a few minutes. We obviously cannot go to Collinsville to broadcast a game, and so I'm spinning what to do. And we got a hold of the good folks over in Collinsville, and we will I'll show you a picture here on our screen. So this is Collinsville stream, and thank goodness the great people over at Collinsville are going to send us their live video. And so Phil, Seth, and I are going to get this stream right here, a similar stream right here. Collinsville is going to send this to us, and then we're going to broadcast like we normally would. We're just going to be in Guthrie at the time. It's a remote broadcast. I'm sure you've seen it. ESPN does it all the time. Their announcers, most of the time, sometimes they are, but most of the time they're not at the games calling the football game. They're in their studio. They're inside their home calling the game just because of protocols and travel, all that good stuff. And so Phil and I and Seth, and we will get to do this for the first time remotely. So whatever Collinsville sends us, and that's how we're going to describe the action. So right here, we would be, let's see here, Tahlequah has, Collinsville has, punt. So Tahlequah's punting the football away from the 20.
Better than this
yeah,
Friday.
I know. I don't know Tahlequah. I would know Guthrie up to the 40, 44 yard line. And so that's how we would describe the action. So we will have the game as normal here on our YouTube feed as well as on Hot 93.7 FM KSPI.
Is it a 7 o'clock kick Friday night, Chris?
I do believe so, yes.
I know some of the schools over on that side still like the 7:30 kick. So
yeah.
We were going to stay in a hotel Friday night after the game.
Oh, it was going to be a great weekend. We're going to go Guthrie, Collinsville. Collinsville undefeated on the season, haven't played in the last 2 weeks. We're going to go call it hopefully a great game, a Guthrie victory. Stay the night up in the Tulsa area. Hopefully stay off the first 48. That's something always from Tulsa on that show. But anyway, and then we're going to wake up, go to Owasso, and have Edmond Santa Fe versus Tulsa Union. And then in the nightcap, we were going to have Stillwater versus Choctaw, 6A semifinal games, 3 games in 2 days, and nope, out.
The best part about that is Evans would have had to have bought everybody's food for all that time. And I guess we never discussed who would be paying for the hotel. I'm sure that would have fallen on my shoulders.
Well, yeah. I mean, your
right.
travel management. Yeah, remember I put you in charge of travel.
Oh, I know. Pride of ownership.
Yes. Well, we need to hit our first break here and start talking the games on the field and all that good stuff. The good news, though, is we will be set for the state championship games, which begin December 5th at University of Central Oklahoma. We'll go here after in our next segment. We'll go over the state championship games. Of course, Class 6A all the way down to Class A will be at UCO this year, and we will be cleared to be at UCO as we've been exposed. We went and both took our tests. We were both negative, which is awesome, and we're just going to hang low and stay away from people because we want to be at UCO a couple weeks or next week.
Well, I made it 24 hours, as Chris liked to point out to me, before I had to get in my truck and drive around just by myself. But it's those who know me know I don't do real well in isolation. So this has been, now Chris and I's phone conversations and this is saying something, what I'm about to say, has increased greatly this week. So it's went up from about 20 calls a day to about 100 calls a day. So it's been, it's been an interesting week, but we're both lucky, test negative, so, we just want to, just got to be safe, just got to be safe. Yeah. So wish we could see you in Collinsville, but we'll be here covering it. That can't make we won't, not this time, but we'll sure as daylights be doing our best job we can with what we have. And thank you again to Collinsville. It's very generous of them, very kind of them to allow us. And actually they told Chris, they go, listen, and they have restrictions on the game on attendance. And they were, I think, quite thrilled that we were going to be doing this to perhaps encourage people to maybe not make the trip because of the COVID pandemic and still get to watch and support the team. So, but we'll be ready to go.
Yep, and it'll be interesting. It'll be the first time to ever do this. I do know it'll be interesting to have a game in Collinsville, but be home before they even get on the bus. So that'll be neat.
Yeah, were we going to each rooms? That came up. Well, I was sitting there, I'm going, wait a second. We're surely not all just going to sleep in one room, are we?
No, you would have had to fork out 2 rooms, that's for sure. All right, we need to get
at least 2, probably. Yeah.
All right, we need to get out of here. Again, our title sponsor here is Generations Church. Find them online at generationsguthrie.com. Come back, take a look at some of the games last week, games this week, as we get set for the playoffs here in the state of Oklahoma. This is a High School Huddle presented by Generations Church.
At Generations Church, we exist to love God, love people, and serve both well. We're a multi-generational, multicultural church that believes in being a light to our city and our region. At Generations, we don't believe that church can be put in a box. We're a church that accepts all people from all walks of life, young, old, rich, and poor, and you will feel welcome at Generations. Join us at 10 a.m. every Sunday at 2524 West Noble in Guthrie, America. You can also join us at generationsguthrie.online.church.
Today I'm sharing Golden Chick with the world.
Are you ready to taste Golden Chick for the first time?
100% tenderloin. That's where the golden tenders come from. Marinated for 24 hours.
It is amazing.
Then we also got the rolls, made fresh.
It feels like they were just baked.
You know why it feels that way? They were. Every time I go, I like to get extra rolls, so I love it.
Mm-hmm. We are being kind of photobombed right now by the one and only Clucky. Have you met Clucky the chicken? Don't get too starstruck. He's just a regular guy. One taste, and you're golden. He's on Tender. That's like a chicken dating app.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy. Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
Exxon was founded by two combat-proven veterans to help businesses grow from mediocre to exceptional. We know from experience that your culture and trust throughout the organization drive superior performance. Most business owners focus on the urgent rather than the important. They are just struggling to survive. The team at Exxon helps owners identify challenges, build solutions, and focus on growth. Do you trust your team? Does your team trust you? If not, we can help. We are Exxon.
Hey, you in the third row. Yes, you. When was your last dental checkup? Dr. Lewis Turney and his staff provide dental care in a fun, relaxing environment. Still not convinced? Prefer to sleep through your appointment? No problem. We can do that too. Our staff can ensure you have a relaxing experience no matter what. Got kids? Hey, so do we. Come see what all the moms are talking about. Our kid-friendly staff loves to provide care to even the tiniest of teeth. Give us a call today. We've got the whole family covered.
Give Dr. Lewis Turney a call at 282-7600.
For centuries, it was a windswept prairie until the run of '89 saw settlers scramble for land and life in a newborn town as Oklahoma's territorial capital, Guthrie. Bank First is loyal to the preservation movement that reclaimed Oklahoma's first state capital. And we're loyal to the banking legacy born at the corner of First and Oklahoma Streets. Bank First. Loyal to Oklahoma. Loyal to you.
Welcome back to the High School Huddle. Join the huddle yourself and let us know your thoughts by calling our toll-free number at 1-800-897-3678 or simply tweet us by using the hashtag OKHSHuddle. Now let's get back in the huddle and talk high school sports.
With Phil Nichols, I'm Chris Saints. Welcome back. High School Huddle presented by our title sponsor this year, Generations Church. And Pastor Josh Seabolt, who was friends with you on Facebook today. I really don't like it when you two guys are on the same page, particularly teaming up against me. But Generations Church, as you see on your screen, you can find them online at generationsguthrie.com. Also online for their Sunday morning worship. So if you're unable to attend in person, they do have the online feature there. And COVID, we were talking about COVID earlier. It's starting to, for Logan County, where I think we saw 272 active cases. And it's like 295, 272 yesterday, 295 today in Logan County. And Logan County really is a lot lower as far as numbers are concerned compared to counties around us. So, saying that, churches, a lot of churches, including Generations Church, offers that service online, so be sure to take advantage of that. Well, Phil, there's the OSSAA announced the the state championship dates and times beginning next week. We'll talk about the semifinal games this week and some of the scores as well. But the OSSAA announced that Saturday, December 5th, the 6A1 state championship game will be played at 1 o'clock. The 6A Division II game will be played at 7 o'clock. And then the following week on Friday, that was on, again, Saturday, December 5th. Next week, it'll be a fun weekend of football. Friday, December 11th, will be the Class 3A state championship game. That's set for 7 a.m. And then the next day, on December 12th, the Class 4A state championship at 1 o'clock and the 5A state championship at 7 o'clock. And then the week after that, there's 3 weeks this year due to COVID. Saturday, December 19th, the Class 2A state championship will be at 1 o'clock, and the Class A state championship will be at 7 o'clock. For the two small schools, Class C football will be on December 12th at 2 o'clock, and Class B state championship will be Saturday, December 19th at 2 o'clock. Those games will be played at Northwestern Oklahoma State University in Alva. And two great locations, Phil. Of course, we did the state championship games. We produced all of them last year, and we were able to call, I think, 4 of the state championship games at UCO. But we've been to Alva as well. We did a state semifinal game out there with the Crescent Tigers, and I believe it was Hooker that night back in 2017. A great facility, the turf, the press box, the the concession stands, the locker rooms, all that good stuff. And Alva, kudos to those folks out there. They've been trying to get the state championship games for a long time. They've gotten a lot of state semifinal games, but they do get the host the state championship for Class B and C, and congratulations to them.
Yeah, I mean, great facility out that way, and I mean, first class facility, truly. UCO, we've talked about it in the past. I mean, we're so thankful that UCO's partnered with the OSSAA, and everybody at the OSSAA office has done a great job, managing that. I think it creates a great experience for everybody. Of course, we don't really know what it's going to look like this year, but regardless, it's a fabulous facility. UCO's great host. Of course, our friends at the OSSAA, they do a fabulous job. And so it's good all the way around, and we feel blessed and fortunate that we get to call some games and produce all of them. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's take a look at the 6A football bracket here, Phil. Edmond Santa Fe continue their winning ways as they we'll get over here to the 6A1 scores. I was ready for 5A. Pull up 6A1 here real quick. Edmond Santa Fe had no problem over Westmore, 56-22, and then in a game that was close there for a little bit, Tulsa Union won by 12 over Broken Arrow, 26-14. So we'll have Edmond Santa Fe taking on Tulsa Union. And again, Union's had that slow start. It had a great schedule, as they do every single year. And the losses were adding up quickly, but we knew, Phil, the schedule was very winnable in the last 4, 5, 6 games of the season. And then anytime Union, Jinx, Owasso, Arrow get into the state semifinals, they're as good as anybody.
Yeah, and I mean, they've got everything. First of all, they got great traditions and excellent coaching staff, and you can never count out Union, Jinx. Historically, like you said, they've had some down years last few years, but that has a lot to do with what's going on at Owasso and what's going on at Broken Arrow, and then this year, of course, Edmond Santa Fe over on this side. The only hope for the west side is Edmond Santa Fe. I think it's going to be an uphill battle for them, but they definitely have an opportunity. I think Owasso is still the class of 6A Division I in Oklahoma, and until somebody beats them. So we'll see what happens, but it should be some great football games.
Yeah, the other side of the bracket, Jinx took down Norman North, no problem there. 63-16 was that final score, and then the other game. I hope Jordan Leach and family are on mute right now, but Jordan, the Mustang Broncos, were able to score. Give them credit. Mustang was able to score against Owasso, the defending state champions, who, oh, by the way, have a pretty good win streak themselves. We're always talking about Bixby's win streak, rightfully so, but Owasso's, I think, is 26 games, 14 plus 12. I think that's right, 26-game winning streak. But Owasso, no
pretty
problem.
Good.
Yeah, Owasso, no problem over Mustang. 45-7. So as you mentioned, Phil, Edmond Santa Fe, the only chance left on the west side to pull it off this year.
Yeah, and gosh, it'd be so much fun if they did, but I just don't think they've got the horses to keep up when it gets down with the Owassos. I mean, but I think Owasso is going to not walk through it to a state title, but I think they're going to be. I think they're the odds-on favorites, so I think everybody's chasing the Rams right now.
Well, you take a look at Edmond Santa Fe. They did play Owasso early in the season, lost that game 48-21. They played Broken Arrow and beat Broken Arrow 35-28. That was back in late October, and so we'll see what happens against Tulsa Union. Again, I think the Union start off like 1-4, I think, and then all the wins have come as of late. But they took down Broken Arrow 26-14. And you look at Tulsa Union, lost to Bixby, lost to Broken Arrow, lost to Jinx, lost to Owasso. So they started the season off 0-4. Victories over Mustang, Moore, Norman North, Southmore, Enid, the West Side schools. But their best win of the season by far, as they lost to Broken Arrow early in the year. But when it comes playoff time, Tulsa Union with the victory 26-14. So your state semifinal, Tulsa Union takes on Edmond Santa Fe, and then Owasso takes on jinx. And again, we were supposed to be in Owasso and call the Union Santa Fe game, but they replaced us with Mark Rogers, so they will be in good hands over there in Owasso for the call the game.
Got the JV out.
He's done a few games a time or two.
Yeah,
so, and
of course, Mark ought to be all right.
Yeah, you can find those games on the NFHS network. Class 6A2 football, Phil, and a 6A quarterfinal game, and Bixby wins 63-27 over Del City. And Del City has a good defense, and still that defense gives up 63 points as Bixby just continues their winning ways, and they are just piling on the points, and Braylon Presley keeps picking up college Division I offers. And oh, by the way, it was a week ago today, Phil, when I called out the University of Tulsa, who's starting to put some wins together this year, and they're in the top 25 somewhere in there. It was I who brought it up on the High School Huddle. Within hours, they offer Braylon Presley. So I feel like I should get a little bit of that scholarship from Presley, and we can go play football.
It's only right. I think it's only right. That kid's going to have a lot of scholarships by the time his high school career is over. I mean, we both think he's the player of the year for the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We've seen him up close and personal one night, and then like so many people on ESPN another. And I think between the two games, he had 10 touchdowns and probably 800 yards total offense. I mean, the guy is just a freak of nature. And played 6 quarters between the two games.
Right. And oh, by the way, that was against the almighty Carl Albert Titans, who play at the Palace on Post Road.
Yeah.
And Booker T. Washington. Those, I mean, you can put numbers up against some of the other teams in the state that aren't so good, but Booker T. Washington and Carl Albert are the numbers that he put that you just spoke of, that he put on them. And so, I mean, it's just amazing to watch. And so Bixby wins over Del City 63-27, and now it will be the Midwest City Bombers try to stop him again. Midwest City took down Booker T. Washington 26-7. Phil, I think we both picked Booker T. Washington to win that game, but Midwest City put it on.
We did. And that was a shocker, right? I mean, I was just absolutely dumbfounded by the beatdown that they took. I mean, Midwest City could be gelling at the right time because we know they've got great athletes over there.
Great coach,
I mean,
too.
That's not great coach. I mean, so they might have something to say about it yet. Of course, they're on a collision course with Bixby, but Midwest, it's going to take a very athletic, well-coached, disciplined team. And they're going to have to play perfect, and then Bixby's going to have a little bit of an off night. But anything can happen. We've seen great teams over the years that going into the game, nobody thought there was any way they would lose the ball game, and they did. So it can happen. I just think Bixby's so loaded. I just don't see any way they don't get through them, and I think they're on a collision course with Stillwater for 3 years in a row now. The state championship game between Stillwater Pioneers and the Bixby club that's just dominant.
Yeah,
and young. Bixby's pretty young.
Yeah,
they've got several. They got 4 or 5 sophomores starting for them.
They will have to replace their senior quarterback. Got a couple of Division I offers, so they'll have to replace him. But if you're Bixby, the numbers are there. You'll be fine. Bixby will be fine.
Yeah,
and
you'll be fine.
And if you're counting at home, Bixby's won the last 95 out of 96 state championships in 6A2. In fact, they've won 6A2 every single year except for one season. I believe that was Booker T. Washington who won it that season.
Yep.
But if you're thinking Bixby, when are they going to get out of here? Bixby, of course, still being 6A2 next year. It'll be the year after. It'll be the 2022 season that they might bump up into 6A1 football. They are the largest school in 6A2. So when they start doing the ADM next year for the 2022-23 season, I really think that Bixby will go into 6A1. Which, if they were in 6A1 right now, they would obviously have it. They would have won it last year and this year and maybe a couple years in between that. So I know a lot of schools.
I think that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I was simply going to say, I don't care where they move. When they move up to 1, they're the favorites to win it.
Right. Yeah, there's no doubt.
I mean, it's absolute. There has been a complete power shift on the east side of football over there, and everything. If you're talking best program on the east side and in the state, you're talking about Bixby.
Well, and of course, Bixby, it'll be more, you have to play Union and Wasso Jinx a little bit more often, so there's not as many holes in the schedule as maybe 6A2, which has been a pretty good season so far. But anyway, it'll be the Bixby Spartans taking on the Stillwater Pioneers, who had no problem over Sand Springs, 49-17. And so it'll be the Sand Springs Stillwater Pioneers taking on Choctaw. A game Choctaw defeated Putnam City North 20-7. That's the game that I had picked PC North. You picked Choctaw, and Choctaw wins that one 20-7. Choctaw, we saw them a year ago, and they'll have another. We broadcasted Choctaw Stillwater last year in the state semifinals over at UConn, and Stillwater had it going on early and often on that night.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, a little different. They're not throwing the ball like they did last year when they had Gunner. I just went blank. I'm trying to blank out that last name.
Gundy.
What's Gunner's last name?
Gundy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gunner Gundy. Who was a phenomenal high school quarterback, obviously, and of course they had all Mr. Everything still last year. He's been there 17 years, it seems like, Mr. Walker over there, but and a great defense. That's the thing I remember about the Stillwater defense last. Remember that championship game? They really shut Bixby down for a good part of the first half. I mean, it was they did a better job than anybody of shutting them down. So. Again, you don't know. I think Bixby will end up hoisting the gold ball again. But they've got between Midwest City and then potentially what we think will be Stillwater. I mean, they've got some big games ahead of them yet. Yeah,
Choctaw. You take a look at Choctaw though. Again, victory over Putnam City North. Choctaw has won their last 5 ball games in a row. Victories over Muskogee, Sand Springs, PC West, Bartlesville, and Putnam City North. Now, Stillwater obviously will be a much bigger challenge for Choctaw, but Choctaw does have an impressive victory over Booker T. Washington back in September. So it'll be fun to see how that one plays out. Again, that game will be in Owasso on Saturday night. We're up against another break here on the High School Huddle, presented by our good friends at Generations Church. Be sure to check them out at generationsguthrie.com. Take a time out. On the other side, we got to talk about Class 5A football, Phil, the class that we probably follow the closest of all the classes.
Yeah.
As El Reno takes it to the Piedmont Wildcats. Wasn't even close. And the best game of the night as far as 5A, 6A football was in Lawton, Oklahoma, when the Guthrie Blue Jays took down the Highlanders to advance to the quarterfinal games Friday night against Collinsville. We'll talk about all that coming up next. This is the High School Huddle presented by Generations Church.
Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
Exon was founded by 2 combat-proven veterans to help businesses grow from mediocre to exceptional. We know from experience that your culture and trust throughout the organization drive superior performance. Most business owners focus on the urgent rather than the important. They are just struggling to survive. The team at Exon helps owners identify challenges, build solutions, and focus on growth. Do you trust your team? Does your team trust you? If not, we can help. We are Exon.
Hey, you in the third row. Yes, you. When was your last dental checkup? Dr. Lewis Turney and his staff provide dental care in a fun, relaxing environment. Still not convinced? Prefer to sleep through your appointment? No problem. We can do that too. Our staff can ensure you have a relaxing experience no matter what. Got kids? Hey, so do we. Come see what all the moms are talking about. Our kid-friendly staff loves to provide care to even the tiniest of teeth. Give us a call today. We've got the whole family covered.
Give Dr. Lewis Turney a call at 282-7600.
For centuries, it was a windswept prairie until the run of '89 saw settlers scramble for land and life in a newborn town as Oklahoma's territorial capital, Guthrie. Bank First is loyal to the preservation movement that reclaimed Oklahoma's first state capital. And we're loyal to the banking legacy born at the corner of First and Oklahoma streets. Bank First. Loyal to Oklahoma. Loyal to you.
Today I'm sharing Golden Chick with the world. Are you ready to taste Golden Chick for the first time? 100% tenderloin. That's where the golden tenders come from. Marinated for 24 hours.
It is amazing.
And we also got the rolls, made fresh.
It feels like they were just baked.
You know why it feels that way? They were.
Every time I go, I like to get extra rolls, so I love it.
We are being kind of photobombed right now by the one and only Clucky. Have you met Clucky the chicken? Don't get too starstruck. He's just a regular guy. One taste, and you're golden. He's on Tender. That's like a chicken dating app.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
At Generations Church, we exist to love God, love people, and serve both well. We're a multi-generational, multicultural church that believes in being a light to our city and our region. At Generations, we don't believe that church can be put in a box. We're a church that accepts all people from all walks of life, young, old, rich, and poor, and you will feel welcome at Generations. Join us at 10 a.m. every Sunday at 2524 West Noble in Guthrie, America. You can also join us at generationsguthrie.online.church.
Welcome back to the High School Huddle. Join the huddle yourself and let us know your thoughts by calling our toll-free number at 1-800-897-3678 or simply tweet us by using the hashtag OKHSHuddle. Now let's get back in the huddle and talk high school sports.
It is the High School Huddle here on our. We're actually streaming both on YouTube and Facebook tonight as we get set for the playoff round. It's the state semifinals for Class 6A football, and then for most everybody else, it's the quarterfinal action. As still the small schools, Class 2A and A and B, still have another week of playoffs. They'll end up playing 5 weeks. Or is it 6 weeks? I'm so confused now with all the COVID protocols and all that good stuff. But anyway, we are presented by our good friends over at Generations Church. Find them online at generationsguthrie.com. Also on Facebook. Sunday morning worship is also can be found online if you don't want to attend or you want to check them out and watch Josh and all the great stuff, all the great people over there who do awesome job in the community as well. And we appreciate them for all that they do. Phil, Class 5A football, and I want to talk first off about the El Reno Indians. Again, we talked about the tragic news in our first segment with one of their assistant coaches who coached defensive backs for the football team, passing away after a vehicle accident, leaving practice on Monday. But on Friday night, Phil, the El Reno Indians take down the Piedmont Wildcats 41-14 as El Reno forced 6 turnovers from Piedmont. 4 of those were fumbles, 2 of them were interceptions. And anytime you turn the ball over 6 times, Phil, 41-14 is a good possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a very ugly game by Piedmont. And, Piedmont's came on the last few years, have really made a lot of improvement. I think there's something to be said. We talked last Wednesday about, of course, El Reno was without 4 starters because of COVID protocol.
Down 12 players.
And down 12 total, and to go in and do that now. They've got one of the best players in 5A that's on their side, and that doesn't hurt.
No.
So when you got Plumlee on your side, we've said this all year, you're in every ball game because you've got a kid that can go make plays and do things that a lot of kids just can't do physically. So he's, if we were voting today, he'd probably be second or third on my ballot for player of the year in 5A. If I had a vote, but or if that even existed, right? But he's special, and that's what we talked about in opening the show. This week upcoming, it's going to be a tough deal for those kids, or it'll be highly motivating for the kids. it's going to be really hard for the staff over there, I think, to be focused, and because they're dealing with a lot of other stuff that's going on this week. They got to go lay a friend to rest. So it's had to have been a very difficult week all week for El Reno, and hopefully Friday will give them a release from that for at least a few hours, when they compete again this Friday. But they took Piedmont. They took Piedmont to the good old proverbial woodshed last Friday.
Yeah, so El Reno gets a little bit of revenge after Piedmont beat them at El Reno last year in the first round, a game that we had broadcasted as well. And so El Reno, for the first time, Phil, out of the first round of the playoffs, or second round, out of the first game that they play, I should say a postseason victory for the first time since 2009. And what was the quarterback's name? Earnhardt, Shaquille Everhart. Anyway,
it was Everhart.
Yeah, 2019.
Everhart.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a very good El Reno team in 2009. Actually came to Guthrie and beat the Blue Jays with the Brian Dutton at quarterback. So that was a very good. And they had the big stocky guys.
Dolphin. They had the Dolphin brothers.
Yes.
Yeah, they had the Dolphin brothers. One played, I believe, linebacker, defensive back. The other one was a big lineman, and both outstanding wrestlers, and both wrestled at the collegiate level, at a very high level. But they were loaded in 2009. But this has got to be the best team since 2009. I haven't seen this team this year. And last year when we saw them against Piedmont had a very different team. They were much, very heavy senior loaded team, and so different ball club, and everything's different this year. With COVID, I mean, you don't have full rosters most games. It's just nuts. But again, El Reno, for me, of course, we've always pulled for El Reno because we have so much respect for Chuck, and our relationship with him from back in his Blue Jay days here locally. And Chuck's an outstanding football coach. So we wish Chuck well, and say a little prayer for our friend over there. What's got to be a exciting yet very sad time now for the El Reno Indians.
Yeah, Chuck actually brought out a double pass against Piedmont. He opened up the trick bag there a little bit, and it paid off in one of their scores. So El Reno will take on the McAllister Buffaloes in the 5A quarterfinal. McAllister had no problems with Priors. They shut them out 47-0. And so we got El Reno.
I like El Reno. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. So it sets up El Reno McAllister.
Well, in this setup, I apologize for cutting you off, but I like El Reno in that game. I mean, this could be one of those games where it could be a blowout or it could be a nail biter. But I think either way, it's going to be a high scoring game. But I like El Reno. I think Chuck's is going to be. I think everybody over there is going to be. They're going to have a lot of distractions this week, but they're also going to be, I think, very focused. So I like El Reno in that game, and I think a lot of people around the state are pulling for them to put a run together here, in honor of their fallen coach.
And you look at this game, El Reno and McAllister were high of highs just a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago. But these two programs have been at the low of lows. I mean, we're talking about 0-10, 1-9 seasons over the last, just a few years back. So props to their both coaching staffs to get them both to the quarterfinals. As you can stay high, but then there's the lows, and just how you maintain those lows until you can get back to where you want to be. So we'll watch that one closely. El Reno McAllister, that one will be fun to watch as well. The other great on the same side of the bracket, another great game as these teams try to get to the state semifinals next week. Coweta had, let's see here, no problem with Tulsa East Central, 44-14. We knew that. Bishop McGinnis takes down Duncan, 41-21. We also saw that one coming. We were trying to find some way to keep Duncan to make this a competitive game, and McGinnis wins 20 points. So here we go. It's going to be Bishop McGinnis going on the road to Coweta. The East Side has 3 schools this year that are stronger than normal. Usually there's 1 or maybe 2 in the East Side, but this year there's 3 of them with Coweta, Bishop Kelly, and Collinsville. And this Coweta-McGinnis game promises to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, it should be a good game. We've felt that Coweta is the best team on the east side all year. I think Collinsville would probably raise their hand in that conversation, but I do think Coweta is probably the best team on the east side. And honestly, Tarman's the best player in 5A in my opinion. I know that you would bring up the kid from Carl Albert, and I wouldn't argue with that. He'd be right there with him. The Brazil kid, but Luke Tarman's is the best player in 5A, I think, and I personally don't think it's really close. So they'll have the best player on the field. A lot of times in games like this, it's going to be turnovers, penalties, and who's got the best player on the field. A lot of times you get this time of year, that's going to be the difference maker. But there's something in my gut telling me that Coweta is going to win this ball game. I don't, and I'm not one that's usually too quick to pick against McGinnis because we see them so much and we know how darn good they are. They're disciplined. Their offensive and defensive lines are extremely disciplined. I mean, they play great football, well coached. You can check all the boxes, but there's something about this Coweta team that I keep coming back to. Now, we'll see what happens Friday night, but it should be a well of a ball game. That's for darn sure. And Tarman, I expect he'll put on a show.
Yeah. By the way, Luke Tarman, we were told, was offered by the University of Central Oklahoma for the Broncos, and so he'll have many college choices to choose from. But you take a look at the Coweta team; they're 9-1 on the season. Their only loss coming in week 1 of in the first game of the season on the road against 4A powerhouse Wagner, who's the a favorite to win the 4A state championship. They lost that game 28-0 in their first game. But Coweta victories over Muskogee. I know Muskogee didn't win a game this year, but they're 6A2, and they have great athletes over at Muskogee. They got the victory over East Central, who was a playoff team, victory over McAllister, who was a playoff team, victory over Shawnee, who was a playoff team. The big one over Bishop Kelly, 42-27 back in October. Obviously, Bishop Kelly, we'll talk about them here in a little bit, but that was a playoff victory. So Coweta 9-1 on the season, and so it will be fun to watch. And I hope the game is streaming somewhere, and we can have it on the corner as we broadcast Guthrie Collinsville this Friday. But that one will be fun to watch. And so that is the quarterfinal game. Real quick, on the other side, Carl Albert took down Ardmore 49-14. Bishop Kelly shut out Tahlequah 35-0. And so here's another great state quarterfinal game. Excuse me. It should be a state semifinal game, but Carl Albert and Bishop Kelly.
Yeah, and I think Bishop Kelly's again. Every year they're disciplined. They run the ball well. They can throw the ball. Well coached. All the stuff you would expect with a team that's in the quarterfinals, and they're there usually year in and year out. I mean, they're of course last year lost to McGinnis in the semifinals, in the battle of the Catholic schools. But we went and watched that game last year, and they were had a lot of injuries last year. Kelly did. I think they had 2 or 3 Division I kids that didn't play all year and still made it to the semifinals. So yeah, I think I don't think that they're going to be able to keep up. I mean, Carl Albert's just so darn good, and they're just top to bottom in 5A. They're the class of 5A, and then there's everybody else. And somebody's going to have to beat them to change my mind to that. And now somebody will. Obviously at some point, but I don't think it's going to be this Friday.
The drive for 5 for Carl Albert continues. And oh, by the way, if you want to watch that game, if you want to travel to the game, it's at the Palace on Post Road. If you want to check that out, Phil, the Palace on
Chris loves
Post
that.
Road.
Chris loves that.
And how about the other game? The last game we'll talk about. It will be a quarterfinal matchup with the Guthrie Blue Jays taking on Collinsville. Collinsville, one of those 3 teams we talked about, along with Coweta and Bishop Kelly, as the top 3 on the east side, and 3 of the top teams, all 3 probably in the top 5 somewhere with Carl Albert and McGinnis. I think they're that good. El Reno would probably have an argument somewhere in there, but I would right now put those 3 up there with Carl Albert and McGinnis in my top 5. You can jumble them up 2 through 5, however you want to do that. But Collinsville 10-0 on the season, Phil. And they able to get all 10 games in a regular season. It was unbelievable with COVID going around, whether it's your team or the other team, but they were able to play all 10 games, and then boom, first round playoff game, bye. Second round playoff game, getting ready to play Shawnee, coming off an emotional win over Sapulpa. Shawnee doesn't have the numbers to play, another bye. So Collinsville 10-0, has not played in the last 2 weeks, will take on the Guthrie Blue Jays, who had a first round bye as well. They take down Lawton MacArthur 42-39 in what was the best game of the weekend as far as the three biggest schools, three biggest classes in the state, as Guthrie opened up the ball game with a 70-yard kickoff return from sophomore Jalen Chelf and never trailed in the ball game. And Guthrie went on the road at Cameron Stadium and got a good victory to take on Collinsville this Friday night.
Well, I tell you what, this Guthrie team, of course, obviously, it's hard for us not to be homers. These are our kids. These are the kids that we watch play Little League ball and see around town and get to know them. And Guthrie's got a very, very good high school football team this year. It's been an up and down year. They've dealt with some pretty serious injuries. They've dealt with COVID like a lot of teams have, but we've been hit extra hard with COVID this year. Seems like the Blue Jays have, but
lost
that
regular
victory,
season games.
Yeah. Excuse me, I got my mute button hit before
that was well done.
That COVID sneeze came up.
No, protocol. You're in protocol. You don't
protocol.
You tested negative. That's okay.
Yeah, don't say I did that to make Chris nervous. But the Blue Jays, a big win last week in Lawton, as you said, and you look at the games, the best game in 5A, and I think 6A too, and won. But great ball game, back and forth. But a lot of young kids stepped up, had some wrinkles thrown in there that we hadn't seen before that I think makes Guthrie a little more dangerous. I'm going to make people account for one more athlete on the offensive side of the ball. Everything's setting up. Collinsville hasn't played. It'll be 3 weeks since they played in a game situation. Blue Jays coming off of what I think was their best game of the season, for darn sure offensively. Played a great football game in the first half. It's setting up where the Blue Jays could go in there and shock some people, in my opinion. Now, I think it's a tall task. I think Collinsville, top to bottom, are probably the more athletic team. But there's something about a football team and catching that lightning in a bottle at the right time and coming together. And I saw some things last Friday with the Guthrie Blue Jays that I hadn't seen all year, as far as just coming together as a team. That offensive line that's been really affected by some key injuries, they've really started coming together and playing well together, and then little man, the freshman, him stepping up and starting at quarterback, and the kid can spin it. He has no idea he's a freshman. It doesn't seem like any moment's too big for him. Talking about young Calvert, he's just got a lot of confidence and can flat spin the football. And runs the ball efficiently too, especially for a freshman. I mean, he's not afraid to stick his head in there and go run the ball. He doesn't run it like Josh Raines, obviously, but for a freshman kid, he does a pretty darn nice job. There's a nice shot of the two young men we're talking about standing next to each other. But I think that this could be, if we had an upset pick. Oh, there was Chris counting his money. If we had a segment here, we could do our upset pick of the week. This would be my upset pick of the week. I'm really, like I said, I might be the only guy that feels that we have a shot to go in there and win. But I know there's about 55 kids and a coaching staff that thinks they can win.
Absolutely.
And so we'll see what happens. But I feel good about where the Blue Jays are right now. It's it's going to be a tough game.
Yep. And
they're going to have to play a perfect game for them. But I think they've got an opportunity to go in there and upset Collinsville.
Well, it is the playoffs. By the way, when it goes black, that's Phil unplugging one of our outlets. That's why it went dark during the Friday night's game. So if you're watching the game, what's going on? Phil's Bigfoot got in the way. But real quick, I will say this about Collinsville. Really good team. They have a stud quarterback. He's a dual threat guy, and that will be a tall task for the Jays, who will be up for the challenge. There's no doubt about that. All the playoff games, most of them are always enjoyable. They're tough, and that's the way they're supposed to be. I mean, you win a playoff game, you're a good team.
Well, we're going to have to outscore them. I mean, this isn't going to be a ball game where you go there just for the reason you just said. In 5A football, if you got a kid that can throw the ball, you have an advantage in 5A football.
We saw that Friday. It's just most football teams in 5A are going to line up and going to run the ball at you with some variation. Nice run there by the Calvert kid talking about how he can run the ball, but we're going to have to score more points than they are. I know that's what you always have to do, but I'm saying I think we're going to have to be in the 40s to win the ball game. All right. That is our 5A breakdown. Real quick, we need to take our final timeout. Let me set this up here. Luke Young had a question, Phil, and I want to make sure we get that. Get that here. Luke Young asks, is there anyone who can compete with the Owasso in 6A1 and even give them a run? I'll go first. They play Jinx this week, and this could be Jinx is good enough to win this week. Owasso 10-0 on the season, victory over Evans Santa Fe, a semifinal team, victory over Union, a semifinal team. But they play Jinx this week, who, if it's not Owasso, it might be Jinx as the second favorite team to win the state championship. So whoever wins this week between Owasso and Jinx will be the favorite in next week's game. But, I think Jinx can very well give Owasso everything they have. And Jinx is, not breaking news here, but Jinx is very, very capable of winning this week against Owasso.
Well, and I think this is the matchup where we're going to see the two best teams in 6A1 play each other. I mean, I think the two best teams are on the same side of the bracket this year. I mean, they definitely could win the ball game. I think if Owasso comes out and plays their best football, and if Jinx comes out and plays their best football, I think Owasso wins like 27-21, something like that, 35, 35-27, something like that. But I mean, it's going to be. But if they both play their clean game and play what they're capable of, I think Owasso will win the game. But Jinx could very easily go in there and beat Owasso as well.
Dr. Simpson says, I'm sure Phil was tired from hauling all the gear into the press box. Yeah, Phil does everything. We don't. He doesn't allow us to do anything. He just throws it on his shoulders, and we don't. Yeah, it's all.
I pay the bills. I drive. I do all the graphics. I do all the homework before the game. I hand Chris usually 6 to 8 pages of notes, so he sounds as good as he does. I load the equipment. I drive home. I buy dinner. I'm exhausted.
Okay, we probably need to get a break here. Taylor's asking for predictions on the Blue Jays game. Taylor, my prediction is that you can hear the game on 93.7 FM KSPI with our pregame show beginning at 6:30 p.m. You can also watch the game on YouTube/Guthrie News page. That is my prediction for the Guthrie Blue Jay game. And I've said it before, if I pick the Blue Jays to win, I'm a homer. If I pick against them, and then I get 85 emails, you don't like the Blue Jays, and so it's a no-win for Chris. Phil can do that, but I stay away from all that because I've had years. We've been doing this since 2002, been covering Guthrie since 95. I've learned a few things over the years, and I don't make Guthrie predictions. I hope they win, but I'm not good at predictions anyway. Phil's been better than me in predictions this year, so.
Well, we talked about it. I mean, I think obviously Collinsville's the favorite going into the game. I think if I use the same example where Guthrie played their best football and Collinsville played their absolute best football with no mistakes, I think Collinsville probably would win the game 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10. But as we've seen locally before, there's something about certain squads, and I just have a gut feeling that, and again, I think it would be something like 45-42, something along those lines. If the Blue Jays are going to get a W, it's going to be a high-scoring game for the Blue Jays to win. But unlike Chris, I will be a homer, and I will say I think the Blue Jays will win this ball game.
You're so tough. You're so good. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Again, we will not be in Collinsville, but Collinsville, again, sending us their video feed, and we thank them. Now, if their athletic director over there and their video production person over there, Paige. I spoke with her, and big thank you for them to send the video, and we'll have the call for you. It'll be a little bit different, but we'll do our best as we get ready for Guthrie and Collinsville. It's the Bluebirds against the Redbirds, and it's a matchup a couple years ago. Guthrie went up there, and same situation, Phil, an underdog going on the road, and Collinsville had a pretty easier time against Guthrie, but Guthrie a better ball club this year, so we'll see how that plays out. Again, our title sponsor this year is Generations Church here on the High School Huddle. Check them out online, generationsguthrie.com. Final time out here on the High School Huddle.
At Generations Church, we exist to love God, love people, and serve both well. We're a multi-generational, multicultural church that believes in being a light to our city and our region. At Generations, we don't believe that church can be put in a box. We're a church that accepts all people from all walks of life, young, old, rich, and poor, and you will feel welcome at Generations. Join us at 10 a.m. every Sunday at 2524 West Noble in Guthrie, America. You can also join us at generationsguthrie.online.church.
Hey, you in the third row. Yes, you. When was your last dental checkup? Dr. Lewis Turney and his staff provide dental care in a fun, relaxing environment. Still not convinced? Prefer to sleep through your appointment? No problem. We can do that too. Our staff can ensure you have a relaxing experience no matter what. Got kids? Hey, so do we. Come see what all the moms are talking about. Our kid-friendly staff loves to provide care to even the tiniest of teeth. Give us a call today. We've got the whole family covered.
Give Dr. Lewis Turney a call at 282-7600.
For centuries, it was a windswept prairie until the run of '89 saw settlers scramble for land and life in a newborn town as Oklahoma's territorial capital, Guthrie. Bank First is loyal to the preservation movement that reclaimed Oklahoma's first state capital. And we're loyal to the banking legacy born at the corner of First and Oklahoma streets. Bank First. Loyal to Oklahoma. Loyal to you.
Today I'm sharing Golden Chick with the world. Are you ready to taste Golden Chick for the first time? 100% tenderloin, that's where the golden tenders come from. Marinated for 24 hours.
It is amazing.
Then we also got the rolls, made fresh.
It feels like they were just baked.
You know why it feels that way? They were.
Every time I go, I like to get extra rolls, so I love it.
Mm-hmm. We are being kind of photobombed right now by the one and only Clucky. Have you met Clucky the chicken? Don't get too starstruck. He's just a regular guy. One taste, and you're golden. He's on Tender. That's like a chicken dating app.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy. Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
Exon was founded by two combat-proven veterans to help businesses grow from mediocre to exceptional. We know from experience that your culture and trust throughout the organization drive superior performance. Most business owners focus on the urgent rather than the important. They are just struggling to survive. The team at Exon helps owners identify challenges, build solutions, and focus on growth. Do you trust your team? Does your team trust you? If not, we can help. We are Exon.
Welcome back to the High School Huddle. Join the huddle yourself and let us know your thoughts by calling our toll-free number at 1-800-897-3678 or simply tweet us by using the hashtag OKHSHuddle. Now let's get back in the huddle and talk high school sports.
Final segment here on the High School Huddle here on a Wednesday night. Should be a great weekend of high school football. Good luck to your football team as you go out there and cheer on your team. Be sure to do so safely. And the great thing, despite this terrible pandemic, is there are a lot of live streams out there. I know a lot of people are able to follow their favorite team on their stream, and A lot of those games will also be on the NFHS network. You can check that out. There is a fee for that, but you pay $9.95 for 30 days, and you catch all the games, not only this week, but the following weeks after that. You can get the whole thing. Let's see, November 20. Yeah, you $9.95. You pay $9.95 this month, and you get all the, not only the state semifinal games, quarterfinals, but also next couple weeks of state championships as well. We are sponsored by our good friends over at Generations Church. Love God, love people, serve both well. Josh Seabolt and the crew over there. We appreciate them on the broadcast this year, along with all of our wonderful sponsors, Phil, Golden Chick, Mercy Hospital, Exon, of course, Generations Church, Aspen Roofing, Turney, Dr. Lewis Turney, and also Bank First. And all those sponsors were with us last year, and again with this, actually last 2 years, and this year as well. So they allow us the airtime and put all this stuff together, and hopefully in return, you go out there and thank them as well.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't do anything without the sponsors. I mean, they pay all the bills, and it's we're very lucky to have the loyalty that we do for everything we do, as well as our whole community. The names you rattled off do so much for our entire community, not just sponsoring different things for us, but actually just throughout the community. So very lucky. So thank them. You see them, thank them, and because that's what allows a lot of this to happen. And of course, the thing Chris and I love is we get these messages from family members that are out of state, sometimes out of country, saying I'm getting to watch my grandson or my granddaughter or my son or my daughter or my nephew or my niece or whatever the case may be. But that's what puts a smile on our faces when we're able to kind of bring family back together, even if it's through YouTube. It's still nice.
Yeah, it's a really cool deal. A lot of people just simply can't get out because of life. Yeah. Things happen with life, and we're just able to do that. And we do that with our sponsors. So thank you. Yep. And we probably got a few more minutes left here. That's the good thing. Early in the week, we decided not to go on the radio 93.7. So our season on the radio is officially done, just because we had set the time to be last week, and they were actually going to give us another week, but we had to cancel it on Monday because of some other things that happened with our radio team as we are in COVID protocol. But after Monday or after yesterday, we were able to get some negative tests, so we were able to put a whole lot of this together. Had to work on some stuff here, so we were able to have the show here on Wednesday. We hope to have it again next week as well. Of course, we'll have the football game as we broadcast remote, Guthrie against Collinsville. Real quick, Phil, Class 4A football, what in the world is going on in Cushing, Oklahoma? Took down Bethany 41-17. That was, a 4-5 matchup, but then the Weatherford Eagles go down to the Cushing Tigers 34-30. Of course, Weatherford led by head coach Reagan Roof, a Guthrie alum. And Weatherford was in the state championship game a year ago. They have one of the top recruits in the state of Oklahoma, if not the top this year, and Ethan Downs. Right. And Cushing goes on the road to Weatherford and take down the Eagles. Wow.
That's what we talked about, playoff football, anything can happen. You get one of these teams that catches lightning in a bottle and just everything comes together, and they play with just a lot of times just out of their minds. We saw it in 2002 with our Blue Jays. They put a run together unlike anything I've ever seen in high school sports. And just every week it was another, wow, can you believe that happened moment. Maybe that's what Cushing, maybe that's the kind of run Cushing's on this year, but to go out and beat Weatherford at home is a heck of an accomplishment. So tip your hats to Cushing.
Yeah, and I think Weatherford was undefeated at the time of the game as well, and then now Cushing will take on Hilldale. Hilldale, another top 4A team. They're 11-1 on the season, so we'll see. Good luck to the Cushing Tigers, another town that not too far from here, and I know. Yep. Little League football plays a lot of games over there in Cushing, so we'll see how that one plays out. Wagner, the number one team in 4A football, shuts out Southall 56-0. Bristol over Broken Bow 35-34. Poto, the Pirates, state champions last year, right? The Poto beat Weatherford in that 4A final that we were able to broadcast. 52-27. Tuttle passed Newcastle. Those are neighbors to each other down there south in the Tri-City area. Tuttle beats Newcastle 31-21. Blanchard, no problem, over at Tecumseh 47-6. And Hilldale, I mentioned they're playing Cushing. They took down Grove in a close one, 43-42. Cushing, by the way, has won 3 games in a row. So perhaps one of the hottest teams in football. Just shows you it's all about playing your best football at the right time. And I think we can see that for Cushing. So real quick, let's jump down to Class A football real quick and take a look at our Cashion Wildcat. Oh, yeah, that's right. They shut out Elmore City Purnell 42-0. Again, Cashion's getting to the state championship game. They're going to get to the state championship game. I think Ringling's going to get there unless somebody wants to be like Cushing and beat somebody. But it looks like number 1 versus number 2, undefeated versus undefeated. Rematch of last year's A-state title game. They're playing like it right now, Ringling and Cashion.
Well, and that might have been the best game in all the state title games last year as far as just a competitive game. Came down to the wire, had every emotion, everything you could imagine in a high school football game it had. Great coaching staffs on both sides. I think this is Cashion's year, though. I know we say that repeatedly, but this group of kids are just, they've just got it all together, right? They've got that mixture of great talent with great coaching, a community that's just rabid about their Wildcats over there. And I think this might be the year that Cashion gets over the hump and adds a gold ball to all those silver balls over there. So,
of course, Huska's like, oh, hold on. We got a quarterback over here in A5 football. That's pretty good. Just hold on.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Cashion's got a quarterback, running back, wide receivers, linemen, defensive line, linebacker. They don't have a weakness. They really don't. They really don't have a weakness. They do not have a weakness on their football team. So, listen, anything can happen. But I think, again, if you use the standard of if both teams play their best football game they're capable of playing, I think Cashion wins every game if that's true. So we'll see. Now, unfortunately for Cashion, you got to go play them. And I don't think that scares them too much. It's a team that's got a lot of swagger, and they want to play them. They're ready to go out there and lock it up. And I think that game last year, the state championship game, left a bad taste in the mouth because they're sitting in Cashion thinking, well, we should be the defending state champions right now, and on this, God knows what, I guess 28 would be a 20-some game winning streak, and so. They're not afraid to go line them up and play the football game. I'll guarantee you that.
Yeah, Ringling won 33-7 over Oklahoma Bible, so they continue on as well. Crescent was set to play Wayne this week, Phil, but Wayne unable to play due to COVID reasons, so Crescent will advance. They will await the winner between Miko and Moreland. So that is a quick look at Class A football. So the Crescent Tigers, Phil, continue on, and they'll be in the 3rd round trying to get to the quarterfinals next week. Again, they're waiting on the winner of Miko and Moreland. But anyway, that's a quick look at Class A football. Didn't really get a chance to look at Class 3A. We were already well over our schedule here. But when I do, real quick, I look at 2A football, I always think of Cassia Hall in 2A. They got beat by Keys, 16-14. So one of the top teams in Class 2A football goes down. Jones Longhorns, a lot of people are familiar with that name here in Guthrie. Carson May, and the offense puts up 50 points to take down Luther, 50-20. And where's my other score? Where are you at? Millwood must have been at a bye this week. That's the other 2A football team that's right. We must have been offside. Yeah, there they are. They were supposed to play somebody. I think they were supposed to play Prague, and Prague had to back out. So 2A football, a little bit of upset. Cassia Hall goes down. Millwood still hanging around. Jones still hanging around. So we'll see how that one plays out. Metro Christian, number 1 team in 2A football, shut out Rejoice Christian 47-0. We saw them last year in the state championship game. So just a lot of great football going on. The smaller schools will start picking up the games. I think we'll start getting a whole lot more competitive consistently throughout the week, as along with Class A, as probably starting next week. I think they'll start running. And of course, well, I'm sure we'll have some upsets here and there, but this week. But it'll be fun for the smaller schools next week to look at.
Yeah. This is next week and beyond when the games really start getting competitive, and there's nothing more enjoyable than for us, there's nothing more enjoyable than calling a small high school football game, a state championship game, because you want to talk about, the crowds, the entire towns are there. And, usually and we saw this, the smallest crowd is usually 5A.
It has been lately with Carl Everett and McGinnis being in the state championship games, and they're not really your communities. So last couple of years.
Right. But you get these communities like Jones and or the Crescents or Cashins or Poto or whoever. I mean, believe you me, they travel and they're fired up when they get there. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, we might as well hit it real quick. Let's just go through the bigger class. So we did not touch on Class 3A, but Kingfisher takes down Lone Grove 47. No, excuse me. Kingfisher took down Dixon 49-8. So it's Kingfisher, Lone Grove, and Kingfisher won that game 51-41. So Kingfisher advances, and they will take on. I didn't write out my 3A schedule, but they will take on Holland Hall, who shut out Shakota 52-0. So Kingfisher, another team that we like to follow and wish them best of luck as they continue on in the playoffs. Of course, Kingston continues to win. Stigler continues to win in Class 3A football. Heritage Hall continues. Our friends over in Perkins Trown did lose to Kingston 35-21. Lincoln Christian easy over Tulsa Central. Heritage Hall easy over Plainview. So it's real heavy private school in 3A football. We'll see if the Kingfishers and the Stiglers and a couple other teams can hold their own against those 3A and 3A football. Well, Phil, I think we've ran our time. We went over 22 minutes, which it goes by fast. We always talk about 60 minutes always goes by fast, and we were able to get 82 minutes of showtime on here this week. So I
got to go start Thanksgiving dinner.
Why are you leaning?
Turkey basted.
You're leaning, Phil.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, let's finish strong. Finish strong. Fourth quarter.
Oh, sorry.
Four fingers in the air.
Sorry, I'm back. I gotta go prepare a meal.
Yeah. Okay. Taylor, have a great night, fellas. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Taylor. So as we exit stage left here tonight, Phil, what are you making at the Nichols house? So what's you and Tanya?
Yeah, it'll be the two of us this year for because we're not allowed to travel anywhere. It'll be us having Thanksgiving alone in the confines of our home with our 187 animals.
Light the candles, Phil. Candlelight dinner. Candlelight Thanksgiving dinner.
It may not just be the two of us at the house. We do that, we've got a mixed house so Tanya's vegan, and I'm not, and so so I've got a turkey. We'll have turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, all the normal stuff. We're doing this cabbage thing this year that looks interesting, and Tanya has a vegan. What are you shaking your head for?
Cabbage for Thanksgiving?
No, it's a whole vegan dish, and then we have this. Tanya's got this vegan turkey.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Yeah. So we'll have some green beans, probably some corn will be represented. We'll have bread. I'll be asleep by 4 and it'll all be good.
Jordan says it'll be so long until I talk to you guys next. Jordan, there's a football game Friday night that Guthrie will be playing. So, it won't be so long. It'll be till Friday. Report to work Friday.
We are doing the radio show still, Jordan.
Yes. Yes. Please report Friday. I know you're an hour and a half away from the station, but you got time to get there on Friday. Phil, I'm going to be putting a ham in the smoker. Would you like to have multiple pictures or video this year for my smoked turkey? Or smoked ham. I don't really like turkey. I like turkey, but turkey is so tricky. You got to it's so easy to dry out. But anyway, I'll send you video, pictures, whatever you want.
Well, I mean, you can do better than that. You could make a little small dish and set it out on the patio, and I could swing by and pick up some of the ham tomorrow.
Yeah, I absolutely. I would like to do that. I'm going to glaze it. I'm going to cook it.
Oh no, I'd like to try it, and I can critique it.
Right. Well, no, well, that's not fair because even if you like it, you're going to tell everybody that it's not.
No, I told everybody your jerky was good.
You did.
Yeah.
I'm
so you want to take this opportunity to apologize? I mean, what do you want to do?
Nah.
Okay, then we'll start doing
Luke
that.
says to fry your turkey. That you get into
I
the
did that
propane
once.
and
That
it
was-
splatters.
yeah.
It's hot and.
Luke, you got to pay attention to detail. And I don't know if you've noticed with me, details sometimes, well, they're overlooked sometimes, Luke. So you might be responding to my house to shut down a fire if I try to fry a turkey. So
Look, I'm trying to get
we'll
Phil.
do the oven.
I'm trying to get Phil to go with the Traeger so for his sake you can set it and leave it.
I am thinking about getting into this whole smoking thing.
Whoa, Phil, we're cooking here. What do you? Don't leave us now.
Oh, never mind. Okay. No, there's 8 people I know personally in this town that are really into smoking. I like 7 of them, and I'm thinking about getting into smoking meat.
Yeah, it's once you kind of
it's a whole thing.
And I got a long way. There's some pit masters here and Luke's definitely one of them. He always has great stuff. I haven't got to taste it, but I've seen it, and I've heard the
Luke's
great.
Good.
Yeah, and he does a lot at the fire department, and if you can impress firefighters, then you're good.
Yeah, then TBJ's very good.
Oh, yes.
Yes. TBJ's very talented. There's some good ones out there, but I think is Flurry pretty good at it? Can Mr. Flurry?
Yeah,
can
Ryan Cotting can do it. Of course, we're all in the shadow.
Good. Yeah.
We're all in the shadow of Don Channel, who can get after it as well on the pit.
I like to give Don a hard time every chance
I like to think
get,
everybody does.
Right, but I do have to say this. He's really, really good at that.
Yeah, he is.
And he's done some sauce in the past that is unbelievable. I mean, I told him he needed to start labeling that stuff and selling it. I mean, it's because his barbecue sauce is so good.
I posted on Facebook and Instagram today, Phil. You can only have 5 items for Thanksgiving, including dessert. What are your 5 go-tos? 5 you can only have 5.
Only have 5. Well, I mean, I love turkey, so turkey would be on there for me.
All right.
Stuffing would be on there.
Stovetop?
No. No.
My
mother might be listening. I mean, you trying to get me beat up or something? I love corn, and I know some people don't like corn, but I love corn. I love sweet corn. So do mashed taters, sweet corn. I got one thing left, right?
I was laughing when
Turkey,
you said corn.
mashed potatoes. I love corn. You don't like corn?
No, I like corn.
Why are you laughing?
Corn today,
Got
corn
something you
tomorrow.
wanna
That's
share?
the joke. That's a joke with corn.
So I'd have turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes. Now, does gravy count as one of the 5 things?
No,
that goes
that's
with.
you combine that, yeah.
Okay,
and the gravy,
corn, and then probably then it'd be like for me it'd be like cherry pie or apple pie, something like that.
I would like to play "She's My Cherry Pie," but YouTube would.
Oh yeah, they put you back in jail.
Yeah. So no noodles. You didn't go with the homemade noodles.
Oh,
chicken and noodle.
Love noodles. Oh, dadgummit. Can we have 6?
Nope. I said 5.
Well, I'd have to get rid of the dessert and go with noodles.
No dessert. Wow, you're a big dessert guy too.
Yeah, I am, but I love me some noodles. Thanksgiving meal is hard to beat. It's hard to beat. Do you do the little pickles?
Always have pickles.
Talking about food here. Yeah. I got the little petites, sweet pickles.
Oh no,
baby
no,
gherkins.
no, dill pickles.
Oh,
gotta have the dill and black olives
for Thanksgiving. For Thanksgiving,
absolutely, yeah.
You don't have a sweet pickle ever?
No, can't stand the sweet pickle.
Oh boy, that could end our friendship. All right, I gotta go reevaluate some things now.
Jeff Taylor says
pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie. I have never tasted pecan pie in my life.
Really? I
never.
You know what? I don't think I have either. I don't think I have either. Luke Young's top 5: turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing, green beans, pumpkin pie. You like pumpkin pie?
Pumpkin pie is good. It's I love pumpkin pie, but it's got to be made correctly. I got ruined on pumpkin pie with my grandma when I was a kid, and so was she had like cornflakes to it or something, or what happened? I don't know, but it was spectacular. And the whipped cream, homemade whipped cream on the pumpkin pie. Oh boy. Yeah.
T. Fred says he puts peanut butter on his turkey and ham. Peanut butter on turkey and ham?
T. Fred. Come on now. I think T. Fred's going for shock value.
My goodness.
I need T. Fred. I need a picture. Tomorrow I need you to text Chris and I a picture of your peanut butter on your turkey and ham.
Yes.
With you taking a bite.
Yes. Well, no, he doesn't with the bite.
I need to see that.
I believe him. Just a picture would be fine.
You don't like it when people chew their food?
And not very loudly too. Maybe. Yeah. Taylor says turkey, green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing, and cheesecake. If I was going to have a dessert, it would be cheesecake. It would be cheesecake. Yes.
Cheesecake. That's mixing it up a little bit. That's good.
So I guess if I went with it,
but it's good.
I would go ham. I would go.
Oh boy.
What? I didn't like your list.
Well, you go ahead.
Ham, chicken noodles, stuffing. Gotta be stovetop. Sorry,
I know, but no, I know. Believe me, I know.
I guess I just needed 3. I guess I would add cheesecake to that.
You don't like mashed potatoes?
Oh yeah, it would be mashed potatoes and gravy. Yeah. Okay. I would take green beans over corn.
Yeah, you like green beans. Yeah, you do. You're a green bean guy. I did something the other day when you and I were eating, and I usually I mixed it up on my French fries. I usually put the ketchup directly on the fry, and I dipped them this time, and you didn't say anything.
I obviously had an off night. Oh, was this after the football game?
Friday night?
Yeah.
You mean when the infection occurred? No, no. This was
we tested.
No,
negative.
It was Friday night.
Okay.
We're having a non-traditional Thanksgiving with lasagna and the usual fixings, pumpkin pie with whipped cream. All right. Good job, Jordan. That's good. See, I thought Evans might do a steak. I thought you might do steaks.
Yeah, I'm trying to cut back on my steaks. That's my favorite thing to make, to cook, to smoke.
Oh, I know.
And I'm trying to cut it back.
Not your favorite thing to share.
Dr. Simpson, ham is for Christmas and stovetop.
Thank you, Dr. Finally, a voice of reason. Finally.
I guess the meats. I guess the popular meats is turkey and only turkey. I've always had
ham for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
At my family, there's both. We always have both.
We've had both for ours too.
Yeah. That's. I mean, when all of us were together, you going back over the years, grandmas would always make turkey. You'd have turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes. You'd have a couple, 3 vegetables. You'd have all this foo-foo stuff that I couldn't eat because it just didn't look good. You'd have ham. Always have noodles, multiple cake or pies. Pies big at Thanksgiving. So I mean, it's all good. I mean, I bet Doc Simpson wouldn't say no to a ham if it showed up on Thanksgiving.
What about are they deviled eggs or devil eggs? Whatever those things are called. With the
we called them deviled eggs at our house.
Okay, yeah. So do you like those?
Those are good.
Oh, gross.
Oh, I love deviled eggs. Yeah, no, I love deviled eggs.
Oh, see, I like the egg whites, but not the yellow stuff. Not the.
See, if you're going to be waiting to find something I don't like to eat, we're going to be here a while. So I mean,
that's true because you like
no, I'll eat about anything.
Liver,
Oh, love me some liver and onions. Oh, gizzards, fried liver, chitlins, spinach, greens. Love it all. Love it all. It's all good.
All good.
That's why I'm husky.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I think we've ran our course. I
got to go eat now.
We've almost been almost 2 hours. So, all right.
Yeah, I got to eat.
I actually recorded the show, so when it actually makes it, we'll have the ending graphic. Actually, I'll put the end graphic on there, but we'll have to cut this out on the playback. So anyway, all right, Phil.
All right.
Thanks. And
all right, brother.
This is when I cut all this out, and this is when I have to say this so we can have a clean feed. I hope you enjoyed it. This has been the High School Huddle here. Nope, see, I almost said on 93.7 FM. Here we go. For Phil Nichols, I'm Chris Evans. This has been the High School Huddle.
This has been the High School Huddle on Hot 93.7 FM. Be sure to tune in next week as we break down more of the top games and news from across the state of Oklahoma.